Ohio. We're high on Ohio. These stories inform and inspire through the words of people who make Ohio home. Good news and good ideas, identifying and acknowledging the excellence that is all around us. Hi, this is Gene Krebs. I'm here today on behalf of the Center for Community Solutions, and we're interviewing Lisa Hamler-Fugitt, who is the Executive Director of the Ohio Association of Foodbanks. Lisa, thank you very much for being here, and my question for you is, what is the Ohio Association of Foodbanks? People may have a local food bank that they may be familiar with, but what is the Ohio Association of Foodbanks?
We are Ohio's largest charitable response to hunger. We represent the 12 Second Harvest, or known as Feeding America food banks. They are large food warehouses or depositories where food is brought in from a variety of sources, both state and federal sources, industry donations, retail pickup, local food and fund drives, purchase programs. The food comes into those warehouses and then is distributed out to a network of 3,300 member charities, food pantries, soup kitchens, and homeless shelters. 80% of our member charity network are faith-based organizations operating on budgets of less than $25,000 a year. We are the state organization that brings resources to this network, both food, funding, training, technical assistance. We're also the home of the Ohio Benefit Bank, the largest internet-based application assistance program, connecting people to a broad array of work support programs, tax credits, educational benefits, operating in the nation. This, again, is a public-private partnership that brings together 8 state agencies and 4 federal agencies, reaching people where they work, live, play, and pray. We also run the largest state-based national service programs, AmeriCorps, Vista, Harvest Corps, Share Corps, our Summer Vista Associate Program, developing the leadership of tomorrow.
We have a little section in these interviews that we're doing all around the state with thought leaders. We're calling it Mythbusters. So there's got to be some widely perceived factoid out there that is, reflected probably on the commentary page. You see a lot, and but it's not true. Can you tell us something that you know is not true, but yet is widely perceived as being true here in Ohio, especially with our hunger issue?
I would say that both at the state and the national level, the myth that continues to be perpetrated is that folks who receive food stamps, or what we now know as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, are lazy and don't work. That's not true. 40% of all households that receive SNAP benefits have earned income. 30% have an individual that is a full-time worker. Over 70% of all of those benefits go to households with children. And it only represents less than 2% of the federal budget. And it is, again, the first line of defense against hunger. And I always say this, we are fortunate in a nation that has a federal response to hunger. All we need to do is look around at other countries and how quickly democracies become destabilized when the residents of those countries can't feed themselves.
How would you reform the food stamp, aka SNAP program? Because I'll tell you, on the one hand, I've heard from advocates the problem is that you cannot use food stamps to buy toilet paper, okay, laundry detergent. Yet I will also tell you that when I was staying in Columbus for an extended period of time, I was down at a Giant Eagle in German Village, and there was this young couple ahead of me who were buying like 8 to 9 cases of soda pop. And they paid for it with their SNAP card. And I then said to the clerk, I said, wow, I wonder where their party's going on. I'd like to be there. She said, oh, they come in every 2 weeks and they buy this vast quantity. And they said what they do, they promptly go back out and resell it. And I followed them out to the parking lot. They were driving a relatively nice car and everything. So on one hand, all you have to do is see one example of possible fraud and abuse. And then you hear that you can't use it to buy laundry detergent with. how do we fix all of this so that, you know, we end up with something that people have more faith in, that actually delivers the promises that we've made?
And I think I appreciate you sharing that personal story, because I think everybody has a personal story. And it's very easy to stand back oftentimes, especially when we might be struggling with our own budgets, to judge what we believe somebody else is potentially not using a benefit properly for. We do not support limiting food choice. In fact, the data shows us that food stamp recipients' purchasing powers are really no different from those who are non-food stamp recipients. We do advocate that the food stamp program provide a benefit that is more reflective of what it costs to purchase and prepare a healthy, wholesome meal. It's based on the Thrifty Food Plan that's not been updated in decades and assumes that everything is purchased from scratch, and that's just not the case. As I said to you, Ozzie and Harriet don't live here anymore. And the average food stamp benefit in the state of Ohio is about $130 a month.
Well,
and that's very difficult for people to be able to purchase healthy, wholesome foods that they need to engender an active, healthy life. We advocate that folks also have to have personal care, personal hygiene, and household cleaning items, and they need the resources to purchase those.